History tells you that Alexander was chosen, born for greatness, educated by philosophers, blessed by the gods. That part is irrelevant to you. You are not chosen. You are one of the men standing near him, and that is far more dangerous. Most men who meet Alexander do not die in battle. They die from exhaustion, from bad timing, from saying the wrong thing, from being noticed at the wrong moment, or from being useful once, and then becoming inconvenient. This guide is not about how Alexander conquers the world. It is about how you survive proximity to him. Because standing next to a force of nature is not safer than standing in its path. Macedonia is not Greece. It is colder, rougher, louder, and far more honest about what it is. This kingdom exists for one purpose: to produce soldiers. You wake early. You train constantly. You eat simply. You drink heavily. You fight often. Violence here is not exceptional. It is administrative. Disputes are settled with fists or blades. Authority is personal, immediate, and visible. If you cannot fight, you are a burden. If you refuse to fight, you are a problem. In Macedonia, usefulness is protection. Neutrality is weakness. This machine was built by Philip II of Macedon. Philip does not rule by charisma. He rules by systems. A professional army, constant drilling. The phalanx, trained to move as one body. Men are taught not to be brave, but to hold formation. You learn early that courage is cheap. Discipline is everything. Never stand out in training. Excellence attracts attention. Attention attracts expectation. Expectation kills. Alexander is always there. Too young, too intense, too certain. He listens more than he speaks. When he speaks, people remember. When he rides as if being watched, because he always is. You do not yet fear him. That comes later. Right now, you notice something else. People orbit him. Friends become followers. Followers become tools. Tools are discarded. Never be the closest man to Alexander, and never the farthest. Both positions are lethal. Alexander's mother, Olympias, shapes the palace like a pressure system. Whispers of divine birth. Serpents. Omens. Fear mixed with reverence. You learn quickly. Truth is less important than belief. People do not argue with destiny. They align with it or are crushed by it. Never comment on royal myths. Treat them as weather. You don't debate storms. Alexander is taught by Aristotle. Philosophy, ethics, Homer, destiny. You might think this civilizes him. It doesn't. It gives him language for violence. Ideas do not soften Alexander. They justify him. Intelligence near power does not protect you. It gives power better excuses. Everyone knows the story of Bucephalus. What history forgets is the men who stood too close when the horse was brought out. The ones who laughed. The ones who doubted. They are not remembered because they learned the first lesson of Alexander's rise. Hesitation is visible. When Alexander succeeds, success becomes inevitable, retroactively. Anyone who did not believe early enough becomes suspicious. When Alexander commits, commit with him, publicly, but not passionately. To be near Alexander is to live under constant evaluation. Your loyalty is measured not by words, but by timing. Too early, you look ambitious. Too late, you look unreliable. Drinking is political. Silence is political. Every reaction is data. Speak less after victories. Triumph makes Alexander restless. Restless leaders look for new tests. By the end of this act, you understand one thing clearly. Macedonia is not preparing for peace. It is preparing for movement. Philip has built the engine. Alexander will remove the brakes, and you will be inside it. You have survived Macedonia by learning restraint, discipline, and invisibility. It will not be enough, because the moment Philip dies, everything you understand about stability disappears. Power will no longer be procedural. It will become personal, and personal power kills faster. You do not hear the dagger. You hear the silence after it. Philip II is dead. One moment, Macedonia runs on habit, hierarchy, and routine. Orders are clear. Authority is stable. The next moment, everything freezes. Guards hesitate. Officers whisper. No one knows who is in charge yet, and that uncertainty is more dangerous than any enemy army. Philip is killed in public during celebration. Not in battle, not in secrecy, in daylight, in front of witnesses. That alone reshapes reality. It tells everyone watching that power is reachable, that protection can fail, that nothing is permanent. Fear spreads faster than grief. You see it in small details, hands tightening on spear shafts, men watching each other instead of watching the road, movement without direction. The hours after a ruler's death kill more men than wars. Do not wander. Do not speculate aloud. Stay near visible authority and move with purpose, even if you don't know where you are going. Stillness looks like guilt. Alexander does not pause to mourn publicly. He does not wait for consensus. He understands something instinctively. Hesitation creates rivals. Before factions can form, before alternative heirs are named, before Greece can react, Alexander occupies power by acting as if it already belongs to him. The army swears loyalty quickly, some out of belief, some out of fear, most because delay now means death later. This is not legitimacy negotiated. It is legitimacy imposed through speed. When power consolidates suddenly, align early, but quietly. Loud loyalty invites scrutiny. Silence paired with obedience is safer. Alexander's authority feels different from Philip's. Philip ruled through systems. Alexander rules through presence. Orders come directly. Decisions are personal. Rewards are immediate. Punishments are final. You begin to understand. Under this kind of rule, rules matter less than moods. The first purge is not theatrical. There are no speeches, no trials meant to reassure. People simply disappear. Rivals, potential claimants, men who hesitate too long, men who wait to see how things settle. Guilt is irrelevant. Risk is what matters. Alexander does not punish betrayal. He prevents it. A minor noble delays his oath by a single day. He wants certainty. He never gets it. Arrested quietly, gone by morning. No explanation is offered, and none is needed. Never assume innocence protects you. Only irrelevance does. Indecision is visible, and visibility is fatal. News of Philip's death spreads fast. Greek cities sense opportunity. Macedon looks unstable. A young king. A sudden corpse. Old resentments surface immediately. Alexander does not wait for rebellion to mature. He marches south before diplomacy can catch up. The message is clear. Disorder will not be tolerated long enough to organize itself. This is where the army changes character. Movement replaces uncertainty. Fear is redirected outward. When a leader moves fast, follow movement, not logic. Logic will come later or never. The Greek campaign will not be about persuasion. It will be about demonstration. By now, the companions adjust. Old friendships are recalculated. Some men rise quickly, others fade without explanation. Past loyalty matters less than present usefulness. Even celebration becomes dangerous. One night, wine flows freely. Someone jokes about how easily power was secured. Alexander laughs, and later removes that man from command without punishment or explanation. Never imply that power was easy. Power demands belief in its inevitability. By the end of this act, Macedonia is no longer merely prepared for war. It is aimed. Philip built the engine. Alexander removed the brakes. You have survived by being early, quiet, and adaptable. You will not get another transition like this. The next lesson will be taught through fear. Philip's world is gone. In its place stands something faster, sharper, and far less stable. Power is no longer procedural. It is personal, and personal power kills faster. From a distance, Greece looks ready to rise. News of Philip's death spreads faster than Alexander's army. In city assemblies, old grievances resurface. Men speak of freedom, of Macedonian weakness, of a young king who cannot possibly control what his father built. Athens debates. Thebes hesitates. Others wait. You hear the tone change. Not excitement, calculation. Rebellion rarely begins with courage. It begins with the belief that someone else will take the first risk. Alexander does not wait for that risk to materialize. He understands something the cities forget. Rebellion grows strongest in silence. So he moves before it can speak out loud. Alexander marches south with shocking speed. Not carefully, not ceremonially. He moves as if resistance has already failed. Cities expected negotiation. They get proximity. You feel the effect immediately. Rumors collapse into panic. Messengers arrive late. Councils fracture. Plans evaporate. When power arrives faster than information, obedience feels safer than choice. Alexander does not besiege first. He appears. He camps where he should not yet be able to camp. Speed itself becomes the message. Thebes chooses the wrong moment. Believing Alexander distracted elsewhere, the city revolts openly. This is not irrational. By Greek logic, timing is everything. But Greek logic assumes time exists. Alexander arrives before disbelief fades. What follows is not a campaign. It is an erasure. The city is taken, destroyed, its population killed or enslaved, the land redistributed. The message is deliberate and unmistakable. When a ruler makes an example, it is not meant for the victim. It is meant for the observers. You do not celebrate this. Celebration is dangerous. You watch silently and understand. Mercy has been removed from the strategic toolkit. After Thebes, Greece does not fight. Cities send delegations instead of armies. Walls remain closed, not in defiance, but in caution. Decrees are passed affirming loyalty that did not exist a week ago. Alexander does not occupy Greece heavily. He does not need to. Fear does the administrative work for him. When obedience is psychological, enforcement becomes unnecessary and unpredictable. You learn a new kind of danger. Stability built on terror is quiet, but brittle. One wrong word, one misplaced gesture, can still be fatal. By the end of this act, Greece is not conquered in the old sense. It is contained. Alexander has proven something far more important than military strength. He has demonstrated that resistance will be punished faster than it can coordinate itself. For you, this changes everything. You are no longer following a king who seeks legitimacy. You are following a force that creates inevitability. Under this kind of power, morality is irrelevant. Timing is everything. Survival belongs to those who read momentum, not ideals. Greece stands behind you, silent, obedient, intact, and broken. The old world has learned its lesson. Now Alexander turns east towards something richer, larger, and far less familiar. Ahead lies Asia Minor. Not cities that debate, but an empire that expects you to break. And it will not hesitate. The moment you cross into Asia Minor, something subtle but irreversible happens. In Greece, cities knew who you were, even when they hated you. Here, no one cares. This land does not debate legitimacy. It measures strength, speed, and endurance. The terrain opens. Distances grow. Villages thin out. The roads stop making sense. You are no longer marching through a political map. You are moving through space. This is where reputation stops protecting you. Only discipline does. Alexander understands this instantly. He does not slow down to announce his arrival. He moves as if the land must adjust to him, not the other way around. At the Granicus River, you encounter the Persian system for the first time and misunderstand it. The Persians are not weak. They are structured differently. Their power is wealth, numbers, and time. They expect invaders to exhaust themselves. The battle is violent, chaotic, and decisive, but what matters more is what follows. The realization that this war will not end quickly. The first victory in a foreign land is dangerous. It convinces men that everything will work the same way again. Alexander wins, and then keeps moving. Asia Minor is richer than Greece. Cities are larger. Markets are fuller. Supplies exist. This feels like relief. It isn't. With wealth comes dependence. With dependence comes risk. You are now marching through a land that can feed you and starve you at will. Alexander takes cities not just to conquer them, but to reprogram them. Garrisons are placed. Administrators installed. Tribute flows. When an army starts living off foreign systems, every delay becomes lethal. Speed is logistics. By now, the distances begin to register in your body. This is not a campaign. It is migration under arms. Men fall sick far from home. Wounds heal slower. Letters stop arriving. The idea of return fades quietly. Alexander does not speak of going back. Never talk about home once the distance becomes irreversible. Nostalgia erodes morale faster than fear. You begin to understand something terrifying. Even if you survive, the world you left may no longer exist for you. By the end of this act, Asia Minor is not conquered. It is absorbed into motion. Alexander no longer reacts to events. Events reorganize themselves around him. Victories stack. Resistance fractures. The idea of stopping becomes unthinkable, not because of danger, but because momentum itself has become policy. When movement becomes doctrine, hesitation becomes treason, even if no one says it aloud. You are no longer part of an army testing the limits of an empire. You are inside a force that has discovered it does not need limits. Asia Minor lies behind you, pacified, reorganized, and fundamentally altered. Ahead waits something different. An empire that knows what you are now. An emperor who understands scale. A confrontation that will test whether momentum can defeat mass. Ahead lies Darius. And this time, the world will be watching. The first time you see the Persian army assembled, your instincts fail you. This is not another coalition of cities. This is not resistance reacting too slowly. This is an empire that has been at war for centuries and knows how to survive losing battles without losing itself. The numbers alone are destabilizing. Campfires stretch beyond sight. Supply animals move like tides. Administrators, scribes, couriers. War here is not only fought by soldiers. When facing an empire, stop counting victories. Start measuring endurance. Alexander does not hesitate. He understands something vital. If momentum stalls here, it dies everywhere. The battlefield at Issus is narrow. Mountains press close. The sea limits movement. This is not an accident. This is survival through terrain. The Persians cannot deploy their full strength. Their numbers fold inward. Their advantage collapses into congestion. Alexander charges directly, not bravely, but decisively. The fight is violent, compressed, personal. When outnumbered, never fight where the enemy can fully exist. The battle breaks, and then something far more dangerous happens. Darius flees. This moment will echo through history, but not in the way you expect. You do not feel triumph. You feel disorientation. The enemy you were prepared to die fighting is suddenly gone. His camp remains. His family is captured. His empire is shaken, but not destroyed. Alexander treats Darius's family with respect. This is not mercy. It is messaging. After a decisive victory, watch your leader more closely than your enemy. This is when ambition recalibrates. Alexander no longer proves himself against the world. He begins to redefine it. After Issus, something changes inside the army. Fear shifts direction. Men stop asking if they will win and start assuming how far they will go. This is the most dangerous phase of any campaign. Exhaustion deepens. Wounds are ignored. Dissent quiets, not because it disappears, but because it feels irrelevant. Confidence without rest kills faster than fear. Alexander pushes on. South, east, anywhere but backward. You begin to understand that retreat has been removed as an option, psychologically, if not strategically. Despite Issus, Persia does not collapse. Cities remain loyal. Armies regroup. Administrators adapt. The empire absorbs the shock and continues functioning. This matters. Alexander has won a battle. He has not yet broken the system. Never confuse symbolic victories with structural collapse. Empires die slowly and often take their conquerors with them. You are no longer invading unknown territory. You are challenging an order that understands time better than you do. Issus lies behind you, a victory that feels heavier than defeat. You have faced an empire and lived, but now the campaign changes character. Ahead lie sieges that will test patience instead of courage, cities that will not fall quickly, populations that will not be impressed by speed. Ahead lie Tyre and Egypt, and the realization that conquering land is easier than owning consequences. Tyre does not tremble when Alexander arrives. It does not revolt prematurely. It does not flee. It simply closes its gates. And that alone makes it dangerous. The city sits on an island. Walls rise straight from the sea. Supplies arrive by ship. The defenders do not need to defeat you. They only need to outlast you. This is the first time you feel something new. Delay. Alexander has won by speed, by compression, by decisive force. Tyre removes all three. Sieges are not battles. They are slow forms of attrition. What breaks first is not the wall, it is patience. Alexander chooses the unthinkable. He will build a causeway to the island. Not a bridge, not a raid, a permanent scar across the sea. You spend months moving stone. Stone from ruins. Stone from the mainland. Stone from memory. The land itself is dismantled to reach the city. The sea resists. Waves destroy progress. Tyrian ships attack the workers. Fire spreads unpredictably. Towers collapse. Every day feels the same. Every night feels longer. Exhaustion in a siege kills more quietly than arrows. Rotate labor. Guard sleep. Men who stop resting start making fatal mistakes. Alexander does not waver. That is the most dangerous part. His certainty stretches across months without fracture, and you begin to understand. This is not about Tyre anymore. It is about demonstrating that no refusal will be tolerated. When Tyre finally falls, it does not fall cleanly. Rage replaces discipline. Months of frustration release at once. Violence spreads through streets that once felt unreachable. This is no longer war. It is discharge. When a city falls after long resistance, stay in formation. Looting disperses protection. Isolated men disappear quickly in chaos. Alexander makes the consequences visible. The message is not subtle. Resistance prolongs suffering. Tyre becomes proof. But something else happens quietly. The army changes. It has learned endurance. And endurance is harder to control than speed. After Tyre, Egypt feels unreal. There is no siege, no resistance. Persian authority dissolves quietly. Cities open gates without force. For the first time, conquest feels effortless. Alexander is welcomed as liberator. Pharaoh, son of Ammonius. Divine. This is a new danger. When your leader is treated as divine, rational restraint erodes. Divinity removes limits. You see the shift in him. Not arrogance, transformation. The idea that destiny is no longer a claim, but confirmation. The founding of Alexandria is not merely administrative. It is symbolic. A mark in the sand that says, this world will be reorganized. At Siwa, in the desert, Alexander seeks confirmation of something larger than kingship. The oracle speaks ambiguously, as oracles always do. But ambiguity is enough. From this point on, Alexander does not simply conquer territory. He reshapes identity, his and yours. He adopts Persian elements, Egyptian rituals, blends worlds that do not naturally blend. Some companions accept this, some do not. When identity shifts at the top, stay flexible below. Resistance to cultural change becomes political defiance. You realize something unsettling. The army that left Macedon no longer exists in its original form. It has absorbed lands, customs, expectations, and it is not finished. Tyre taught you patience. Egypt taught you scale. And Alexander has learned something even more dangerous. He no longer needs resistance to justify expansion. Ahead lies the heart of Persia. Ahead lies Darius again. Ahead lies a campaign that will stretch beyond reason. You have survived battles. You have survived sieges. Now you must survive ambition without limits. You thought Persia was large. You were wrong. Beyond the old imperial capitals lies something far worse than resistance. Distance without meaning. The maps thin out. Languages shift again. Climate turns hostile in new ways. Humidity instead of dryness. Monsoon instead of heat haze. You are no longer conquering a defined political structure. You are moving through layered worlds. And the victories begin to feel abstract. Alexander keeps pressing forward. Each triumph only confirms the next march. When the objective becomes undefined, fatigue becomes political. Men no longer ask, can we win? They ask, why are we still going? That question is more dangerous than any enemy. The confrontation with King Porus changes the rhythm of war again. War elephants, not cavalry, not infantry, not something you trained for. Living towers crashing through formation. Panic spreading through disciplined ranks. You fight differently now. Not faster, not smarter, just more desperately. The victory comes, but it costs more than earlier battles. The myth of invulnerability fractures slightly. When the enemy introduces something unfamiliar, discipline must compensate for shock. Panic spreads faster than elephants. Alexander respects Porus, spares him, restores him. This is not mercy, it is strategy. The further east you go, the fewer Macedonians remain to govern. There is a man in your unit who has marched from Macedon. He survived Granicus, Issus, Tyre, Gaugamela. He stopped sharpening his blade one evening. Not in protest, not in rebellion, just stops. When asked, he says quietly, "I don't remember what we're proving anymore." He is not executed, not punished. He simply disappears during the next campaign rotation. No one mentions him again. Dissent rarely erupts loudly at first. It begins as exhaustion, and exhaustion is contagious. Rain falls for weeks. Armor rusts. Food spoils. Feet rot. Horses weaken. Supply lines stretch beyond reason. Victory does not fix climate. This is where Alexander faces something new. Not enemy resistance, but army resistance. The soldiers refuse to march further east at the Hyphasis River. For the first time, inevitability hesitates. Alexander argues, pleads, threatens, withdraws into his tent. 3 days, no movement, and then something unthinkable happens. He turns back. When a charismatic force meets physical limits, the limit wins, but only temporarily. The retreat is not defeat. It is delayed ambition. On the night before the decision, you sit in silence. No speeches, no proclamations. Rain taps against shields. Fires burn low. A young recruit asks you, "Do you think he can lose?" You do not answer, because by now you understand something. Alexander does not lose battles. He loses people, one by one, quietly, and if he goes too far, there will be no one left to follow. The march back is not relief. It is worse. The army splits routes. Some move through brutal terrain. Others descend rivers. Casualties continue, not in glory, but in attrition. Victory feels distant. Home feels theoretical. Alexander pushes discipline even harder during retreat. Rituals intensify. Symbolism increases. Authority tightens. When ambition hits its limit, control becomes stricter. During retreats, men die from carelessness. Everyone relaxes slightly. That is when nature kills. By the end of this act, something invisible has shifted. Alexander is still victorious, still brilliant, still unstoppable in open battle. But the aura has changed. He is no longer marching toward the edge of the world. He has discovered it, and the world did not end. It simply continued. For the first time, inevitability has met resistance, not from an empire, but from fatigue. And fatigue is universal. You have survived ambition without boundaries. You have seen the moment when charisma meets physics. Ahead lies Babylon. Ahead lies wealth, consolidation, and something far quieter than battle. The final danger. Because armies survive war, they rarely survive peace. When you enter Babylon, it does not feel like the end of a campaign. It feels like arrival. The city is immense, layered with wealth accumulated over centuries. Gardens irrigated by systems older than your homeland. Administrative buildings functioning with quiet efficiency. Roads that do not crumble under weight. For the first time in years, you sleep under structured order. No siege, no march at dawn, no enemy cavalry in the distance. Alexander begins planning, not war, but integration. He speaks of fleets, of Arabia, of further expansion. This is the most dangerous phase of conquest, the moment when ambition outruns the body. When war slows down, discipline must not. Armies are built for motion. They decay in comfort. Alexander now governs more than any Macedonian king before him could imagine. He adopts Persian dress at times, incorporates Eastern elites, marries strategically, encourages cultural fusion. For some, this is vision. For others, it is betrayal. The tension is subtle but constant. You feel it at feasts, in glances exchanged between veterans, in silence when Persian nobles enter the room. When identity shifts at the top, stay adaptable. Cultural rigidity becomes political liability. The man who once united Greeks against Persia now tries to unite Persians and Greeks under himself. Empires are easier to conquer than to merge. The illness begins quietly. A fever, fatigue, a refusal to rest. Babylon is hot, wet, heavy with insects and stagnant water. Rumors spread immediately. Poison, curse, exhaustion. No one knows. You watch him weaken over days. The man who charged rivers without hesitation now struggles to stand. He gives orders even while lying down. He plans campaigns he will never lead. The silence in the palace grows unbearable. When a charismatic system is built around one man, succession is more dangerous than invasion. Alexander does not die in battle. He dies in uncertainty, and uncertainty is explosive. When he dies, nothing collapses instantly. That is the illusion. Generals gather, speak carefully, measure each other. No one attacks immediately, but no one agrees either. The empire was unified by motion. Without motion, fractures surface. Satraps question loyalty. Armies hesitate. Rumors multiply. You feel something you have not felt in years. Directionlessness. For the first time, there is no obvious march at dawn. After the death of a central figure, attach yourself to structure, not personality. Institutions last longer than charisma, but this empire has not yet built institutions strong enough. It has built victories. Soon, the generals, later called the Didakai, begin dividing territories. Not cleanly, not peacefully. The unity forged through blood dissolves into calculation. The empire does not fall in a single moment. It fragments. Egypt under Ptolemy, Asia under Seleucus, Macedon contested, Greece restless. You survived Granicus, Issus, Tyre, India. Now you must survive politics. Wars between successors are colder and more personal than wars against external enemies. Former brothers in arms become rivals. Ambition did not die with Alexander. It multiplied. Alexander is gone, but something remains. Cities bearing his name, trade routes connected, Greek language spreading across Eastern courts, cultural fusion no one fully intended. This is the part history remembers. What it forgets: the attrition, the fatigue, the fractures, the cost paid by those who marched but were never carved in stone. You stand in Babylon and realize something profound. Alexander did not lose, but he did not finish. No one finishes conquest at that scale. The empire survives him, just not in the shape he imagined. You have marched from Macedon to India. You have crossed deserts, seas, rivers, and ambitions. You have seen a man reshape the known world. And you have learned something the statues will never tell you. Survival in a great campaign is not about brilliance. It is about endurance, about knowing when to speak, when to stay silent, when to move, and when to wait. History remembers the conqueror. It forgets the thousands who simply managed not to die. You now know better.